I don't like the idea of garnishing attention. Garnishing, that's a big word, Yemi. Attention this way. I just think it's corny. I think it's cheap. I think it's easy.
Garner.
What did I say? Garnishing. Oh, I said garnishing.
You were cooking too.
Oh, I said.
I didn't want to.
I wasn't gonna correct. I wasn't gonna correct
Bro.
you. I wasn't gonna correct you. I was
but
gonna let you have it.
Oh,
But then he called. But then he called me out.
I was cooking, Pete.
So.
I wasn't even cooking, bro. Wallahi, bro. I was mixing.
What's going on, world? Welcome to episode 116 of the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast with your boys Peter,
Yo,
Mohammed,
You.
myself, Yemi. We are online for the first time in years.
minute.
COVID.
It's been since COVID, yeah. The J Electronic episode, we did a few others that time. What you boys saying, man?
Yeah, man. All good, man. The weather's not amazing, but we give thanks, man. We're here, innit?
Chilling, man. Same old. Boring life. It's been a boring week. Wish it was more entertaining, but it's been a low-key boring week, man. Just been work, chilling, music. How you been, Yemi?
Wasn't an entertaining week, no?
Nah, it's been... Honestly, there's times I wish my life was more entertaining.
Yeah.
And there's times I wish I could come back and tell you, man, a story, but unfortunately, there's no J.K. Rowling going on here, bro. It's been a boring week.
I might
What
watch
about
Harry
you,
Potter today,
yeah?
actually. I might watch Harry Potter today.
Which one?
I don't know, man. Maybe like Deathly Hollows.
Oh, I'll say Prince of Azkaban.
That's a good one too.
It's funny because ITV have been playing all the films, like, pretty much since last week. And I watched Deathly Hallows. So when Liverpool were getting spanked by PSV, Deathly Hallows Part 2 was also on in the background. So I was focusing on that more.
You got spanked, all right?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that, do we?
How you been, Yemi?
Don't know, man. I've been very, very busy. Been a busy week, but all good. Happy to be podding at a very irregular time for us. We usually pod in the evenings, but here we are in the early afternoon on a Saturday, ready to pod. So that's cool.
Yeah, man. We here.
For sure. Yeah, thank you to everybody for listening and watching as well. I mean, first of all, let us know what you think about this setup. We're probably going to be doing more of these as the days and the weeks and the months go by, but I'm sure we'll share more in the coming weeks and months. But yeah, let us know how we're looking, how we're sounding. It'd be great to get that feedback. Shout out to Mo. Big up all the mastiffs as well, wherever you're at. And yeah, man, let's get straight to it. What have we been listening to this week, lads?
Can I just ask a question? Why do you shout out more before the massives?
Because you are always pulling me up whenever I don't shout out the massives. So I'm shouting you out in recognition of that fact.
Fairs. Pete, what you been listening to?
I was saying to Yemi before you joined the call that I think since D'Angelo's death, there's been a lot of studying of his music, particularly Voodoo, which is like my favorite album of all time. And in that, I've been studying a lot of people and albums that influenced him, which has taken me to like funk music. So at the moment, I've been listening to a lot of like early James Brown, a lot of Parliament Funkadelic, a lot of, who else have I been listening to? Al Green, which isn't really funk, but throw him in there as well. Listening to Prince as well, early Prince. So that's been me, man. I've been kind of like following like the I guess the lineage for everything that kind of led up to Voodoo, really. So yeah, that's been me. What about you?
Me? It's been a light week for music. Someone introduced me to, I still don't know if it's a group or a person, called Cigarettes After Sex. Listened to a couple of their songs. Wasn't too bad. You guys will never think I'll listen to them, by the way.
What genre
It's
is
not
it?
rap. It's low-key jazz without being jazz. I'll send it to you. You guys can let me know, innit? But it's completely different. Someone recently just sent it to me. So I've been listening to, I still don't know if it's a group or if it's a person. They're just called Cigarettes After Sex. So I've been listening to them. The Game dropped a new Gangsta Grillz tape for the first time.
Did it drop?
Yeah, it dropped yesterday. I've listened to a bit of it. I think I'm going to get into the rest of it this week at some point. Because for as corny as he is, bro, the Game gets busy, innit? We know what the Game is. So I do really want to sit on that project. And also him doing a Gangsta Grillz for the first time is major, innit? And also he got backlash recently for lying about Kendrick and stuff like that. So I'm just looking forward to it. Did you see it, by the way?
I saw it, yeah.
Did you see
No, what happened?
So he basically did an interview when he was like, I tried to sign Kendrick Lamar when he was at TDE, innit? And then two T's come out and go, hey, bro, he's lying. And I thought 2T's was a mute. I'm not gonna lie to you, Pete. I thought he was a mute, innit? I thought 2T's would never speak. But 2T's essentially tweeted, Instagram, left a comment saying, bro, he's lying. He never wanted to sign Kendrick at any point in his life. But in
Who's
the interview, 2T's is Kendrick's security guard / he's been around from like day one, innit? That's the one he mentions when he's like, I'm snatching chains and burning tattoos or whatever. So yeah, so he commented on it saying game's lying, innit? But I say that to say, whatever the antics he does, the game gets busy, innit? So I've been listening to games, Gangsta Grillz, Cigarettes After Sex, and also I was listening to Asco this week, UK rapper, one of the nicest ones, to be honest with you. I kind of listen to quite often. So I listen to a lot of his straight drops. So yeah, Asco, The Game, and shout out to Cigarettes After Sex. Yemi, what you been listening to?
Yeah, I love loving the growth more. For me, it's been a slow week as well. I've not really been listening to a huge amount, but it was the 19th anniversary of Clips's Hell Hath No Fury yesterday, so I listened to a bit of that yesterday. Still sounding great. I went for a run last week as well, and I listened to the new Lord Apex tape, Smoke Sessions 4. It's pretty good as well. Shout out to Lord Apex, friend of the pod. And that's pretty much it, to be honest. I've not really been listening to much else. Not really had time to listen to music, let alone new music. Especially as we get towards the end of the year, which is going to be fun. Trying to cram in all the other. Oh no, I did recently listen to Chance the Rapper's new album as well, and I think it's called Starlight.
How is that, by the way?
It's decent. It's like an hour and 20, so it's already way too long. But there are some really good tunes on there, and then some really like, oh, this is why I hate Chance tunes on there. And I don't hate Chance, but that debut album made me hate him for a few years, even though, you know, what's the acid rap, even though acid rap was great and stuff, but obviously he needed to take a bit of time out after that disaster of a debut album. But the new album is cool. It's cool. I'll probably take like 4 or 5 tracks from it and keep it moving. I've got a bit of a weird relationship with Chance. I don't know if I still love him. I don't know if I'm over him. I guess time will tell, but that's me, man. But yeah, so we're going to move on now to the first topic of today. And today we're going to review another album coming from the UK from friend of the pod, Kofi Stone. He dropped his 3rd studio album, All the Flowers Have Bloomed, recently. And yeah, it's his 3rd album. If you don't know who Kofi Stone is, he is a rapper from Birmingham, very much in the kind of boom bap, soulful rap, hip hop type vibes. You can find him under artists like Lil Kana, Barney Artist, people like that. His first album in 2019 was Nobody Cares Until Everybody Does, which is great. And then he came back last year with his 2nd album, A Man After God's Own Heart, which was even greater. And yeah, I mean, clearly still riding the momentum from last year, and the creative burst that he's in. He's come with a new album, All the Flowers Have Bloomed. And yeah, it quickly succeeds A Man After God's Own Heart. And it features the likes of Maverick Sabre, Tyler Daly, A.D. Suleiman, and Jacob Banks. It's also produced by Pitch 92, Joyce, Dropped Milk, Joel Caulfield, and Harry Love. And yeah, I mean, if you are hip on Kofi, you'll know that listening to this album, it's very much like the same old Kofi in a lot of ways. You know, the soul samples, the kind of mentally nourishing bars about his growth. He definitely takes it to new levels on this project, just as far as like the emotional scope and the depth of the project. In the project, you know, he's seeking to better himself and those around him. And it's a very metaphorical album, I'd say, because he uses the theme of flowers, and flowers being in bloom and flowers being, you know, grown, as a way to kind of signal his own growth through his mental and physical trials and tribulations. And yeah, the time has come for us to review it. So, who wants to start?
Ahmed.
No, P, you could go.
Yeah, man. Dope album, man. I love Kofi Stone, man. He's one of my favorite rappers in the UK. He's one of my favorite rappers, full stop, to be honest with you. And I think first thing that grabbed me was the artwork. I'm someone that really loves artwork in general. I think it can tell a story before listening to any sort of audio soundscapes. And so I loved the artwork, and I think he's on back to back great artworks. If that's even a run, we can make it a run now.
We've made that a run.
Yeah, we'll make that a run. So yeah, man, I love the artwork. So let's start there. It kind of felt like it wasn't too far away from what I've already had from Kofi. Um, it wasn't like a case of him reinventing himself in any way, but I don't necessarily need him to. But it felt like it was the case of him deepening what he's already given. And I think that's what I look for in artists. I don't necessarily need them to make like massive leaps from where they've been to where they currently are. But if you can somehow expand on what you do and how you do it, then I'm all for it, man. And I feel like the production, um, in parts was that. It felt like it kind of was a bit more soulful, actually. Um, it feels like it feels like he's expanded on what he's already given us in that respect. And it sounds like an artist that's maturing in real time. Because if you look at how he was rapping and what he was rapping about, on Nobody Cares Until Everybody Does, to A Man After God's Own Heart, yeah, you can just see that there was always potential there. And it just feels like each project is growth and, you know, maturation of him as well. Um, and so, yeah, from that perspective, I just really enjoy the album. I enjoy his perspective. I enjoy him telling me where he's been, where he's at. I enjoy him sharing his process of growth, whether it's through his relationship with God, whether it's through love, whether it's through analyzing, you know, some of his aspirations. I just love hearing him tell it the way he does. I think he's a really good storyteller from that perspective. I think his ability to sort of weave together um, being reflective and being skillful, I don't think is necessarily the easiest thing to do. Because sometimes you can compromise on one if you're trying to give us the other. Like my mind automatically goes to Thorns with Jacob Banks, where it's like a 6 minute track of just unadulterated storytelling raps. And in that, the objective, I would believe, is to tell a story, to keep the listener engaged and stuff, which I believe he does. Even though 6 minutes is a long time, I didn't waver from it in any way. I didn't get bored. My attention was purely on what he was telling me, the story he was telling. Um, but I think even in that, his ability to still be skillful with it was actually quite surprising. Because I think when you're telling stories, you might compromise on like giving me like multi-syllable raps. Do you know what I'm saying? Just to kind of drive home the point. And he was able to kind of weave it in and out through the story and still give me the multi-syllable raps as well, which I loved. Jacob Banks, it was good to hear him. I haven't heard him in a while. And I felt like he fit really well on that track. Um, and if I just go through like some of my favorite songs on the album, I thought the album opened beautifully with the intro seeds. And for the life of me, I can't figure out what sample was used. I can't find it. I've heard it before, but I just can't figure out what it is, man. But I just thought it was just a great way to start, man. It was a short song, and I think I realized that I like my intros fairly short because I think it opens up the landscape for what's about to come. And if it's an album that's about 40, 50 minutes long, I don't need my intro to be that very long. So it was just a great way to start. And then it was followed up with Rainfall, which was another track that I really loved. And he was barring on it. Like I wrote some lyrics down, but he was like, I looked a brother in his eyes, told him if you're gonna do it, do it. I was full of pride. Thank God he let it slide. Could have seen my mother cry. Could have gotten 25, just another brother's life. And he goes on and on and on. And I think that speaks to something as well, man. It took me back to when I was young, full of like bravado and confidence and stuff. And I wasn't really one to want to engage with like times of being fearful in no matter what the experience was. And that particular part of that verse took me back to that time. But what he's talking about and what he's sharing is, yeah, cool. Through all the bravado, there is fear, you know? And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that vulnerability. I appreciate artists sharing that. And then the next track was Water, which I absolutely loved as well. And it sounded like he was singing on that. And I was actually quite surprised to hear that. And he actually got a good singing voice. Um, so yeah, I enjoyed that track as well. Like the background vocals were great. It sounded a lot like Omar the singer was doing the background vocals. I don't know if it was him or not, but it sounded the background vocals sounded eerily like him. And I really enjoyed it. The tune itself sounded very spiritual. It sounded like it felt like I mean, Wade in the Water, I think, was part of the hook. And I mean, that's a Negro spiritual in it. So from that perspective, I can kind of see why I connected with it the way I did. And I enjoyed that aspect of it. Venice with Maverick Sabre. It was good to hear Maverick Sabre. He sounded vocally very good. The song itself wasn't one that I loved, but I think Maverick Sabre's his vocals sounding as clean as it did, him singing it in a higher octave as he did, I think gave it like a layer of color that I think the track needed, and I enjoyed it from that perspective. Um, Chamomile with Adi Suleiman as well, that was groovy. The bass line patterns were just they were going all over the place, but I loved it. I thought the hook was great as well. I loved how from an instrumentation standpoint, the drum patterns were used as well, man. Like it felt like there was something specific very like done with the hi-hat that I really, really loved. And I think that song re-emphasized for me how good Kofi is at the love song. When it comes to making songs that appeal to women, he doesn't ever do it in a corny way. And that's something, even I'm someone that loves bars, man. I love my rappers to bar. And I know I'm always gonna get that from him. But I also look forward to like the tunes that, chat to the ladies as well. My mind goes to After Hours on his first project, and albums and songs like that kind of they really pull me in, man. I love that. I love my rappers to mix in a bit of, soulful love with bars, which he's able to do. Um Cactus as well, very groovy, jiggy. It kind of felt like boom bap meets Soul Train. And I loved that. I thought it was kind of interesting to place that song where he did. But nonetheless, I liked the song. Flowers Flow. I thought his double time flow on that was mad. It kind of reminded me of like Jay with Jazzo on Gigawatt. I love that tune. Um, and yeah, I thought Kofi was flowing his arse off on that, man. My favorite song on that album is Marigold with Tyler Daly, which made me feel like I need another Children of Zeus album. And that's again another emphasis of just how well Kofi does with making songs that have sensibilities that talk to the women, man. So I think those are like my favorite songs on the album. Pansy, I didn't really care for like that, along with Boats. But they were cool. I thought they kind of slowed the tempo down of the project, which I'm not too mad at, but just as far as my listening experience, they didn't feel like songs I needed to pay close attention to. So yeah, overall, man, I thought it was a dope album, man. I loved it, man. I loved hearing where he was at. Yeah, I loved the album.
Hear it. I mean, I can go next. It is just kind of proving to me that he is building a really great catalog, and to the point of artwork. If you just put all of his albums together and you see the artwork, it's almost like you can kind of see like the journey. Like he's on the first album, it's like he's a busker. Like it's like a drawing of him as a busker, just like performing in the street. And then A Man After God's Own Heart, he's being baptized. And now All the Flowers Have Bloomed, he's actually like a gardener, like watering a garden in the artwork. So it's almost like a metaphorical symbol of his kind of growth in that way. So yeah, it kind of just shows that attention to detail. I think musically the album is really great. I think, yeah, I mean, to Peter's point, he really dug into the soulful bag. So when the first album comes on, funny, Nia just messages saying that the Kofi album is phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, you hear Seeds, you immediately hear that, you hear the soul, you hear the depth, you hear the warmth. I don't know if that's like the influence of like other producers, but I know that before the album dropped, he dropped a 2-piece with Chuck Strangers, and it was very much the same vibe. Very much the same vibe. Linen shirt, especially. Like if you want to know what that kind of vibe is like, then then you'll listen to Linen Shirt, and then you'll listen to Seeds, and you'll say, okay, this is what he's on. This is kind of like a new phase for him. Really digging into like more of the soulful aspects of it. So which is really, really good. So it sets a tone, 100%. And then Rainfall was great. I mean, if we just think about like what he's talking about, you know, getting run up on with a knife, his mental breakdown, you know, the people around him only being interested in what he brings to them, you know, monetarily or materially, the physical and emotional perils of his life. So he's very much like vulnerable here. And I think that's like a key thread throughout the album. Maybe not as much as like other albums, but it's very pertinent here. Like he's really like laying himself bare and talking about the kind of trials and tribulations that he's had to kind of go through. And then even to the point of like Thorns, and just talking about like having kind of like a bird's eye view of what everyday people's problems are, you know, like each verse is like a different narrative. You know, you have the single mother, you have, you know, the guy that, you know, everyone is kind of abandoned, and, you know, you've got someone in his voice talking about maybe you should commit suicide. Maybe it's better if you do pass away, sort of thing. And obviously these are things that affect all of us, right? Like in one way, shape or form. So yeah, I feel like just in terms of the emotional depth of this album, I think it's so strong. He shows an emotional maturity, that can only come with like, I suppose, age, going through things, and really assessing what they've done to him. So it feels like he's really done the work personally, and it's really translated into the music as well. So Thorns as a whole, I really loved that song. And fun fact about that song, if we take it back to Afro Surrealist's album by British, the song A Day in the Life uses the same sample. So
sure.
yeah, so the last tune with Brooklyn, Ludovico, same sample. Yeah, in good hands. And then you go to Water. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's representative of a key theme of the album, you know, and his struggles to kind of find peace of mind, in an environment where his mental health had kind of taken a beating of sorts. Yeah, I mean, I even liked him singing as well. I think he was like, well, it was well placed. He didn't try to do too much. The background vocals were great as well. And yeah, it did feel spiritual. It felt like, you know, it felt like dusk, and like you're already just you're up just like walking through like, I don't know, like a beach or a field, just trying to find yourself. That's what I kind of got. That's what I kind of took from that. So that was great. Just funky as hell, and it kind of just get. And another thing I love about this album is like the flows. Some of the flows on this album, like I think with like Dave's album, with Kofi's album, with Nux's album, with Sibo's album, they're really paying attention to like flows and delivery, and it's really, really, really showing. Like with Cactus, like it really is a prime example of like his variety. Now, obviously, we've seen all the like the songs in his flow series where he just basically like it's a different flow pretty much every time, and we love that about him. But that song kind of more like hard hitting, kind of more boom bappy stuff, and this is that kind of more funky stuff, and it kind of just shows how versatile he is over any kind of production. So that was really, really sick. And even
that song reminded me of there's a flutist called Bobby Humphreys. Currency's like rapped over a bunch of her stuff, and yeah, that song gave me that feel. And his ability to just flow on that, tap dance all over that, yeah, man, massive rating.
100%. I mean, there was a point where I think he was doing the rhyme pattern where he was ending everything with O. And I heard Busta Rhymes. I heard Busta Rhymes inflections, put your hands where my eyes can see. Or I think that's what the song is, where he's like ending every bar with O.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
what
exactly
you saying,
what I
yo?
got from
it.
Yeah. That's exactly what I got. And I loved it. Anytime I can hear Busta Rhymes in someone, like, yeah, I'm excited. And then we go to like Flowers Flow. Again, incredible rapping. I felt like at times I heard like grime flows. Like I heard a little something there, you know what I mean? And clearly, yeah, again, it kind of just goes to show he's a student, right? Is it my favorite flow song? Probably not. Like, but to be fair, we've had Busker Flow for years. King David Flow was great. Even Child of God Flow, that Lucy, amazing as well. So yeah, it's going up against like bangers. So yeah, but he definitely like did a tip. So yeah, that was great. Pansy, I thought that was a really sweet track. I think I appreciated the the symbolism of it, especially at the end where, it's a voicemail from his dad talking about how proud he is of Kofi. And it's come at like a part in the album where the flowers haven't necessarily bloomed as far as like his full-on growth is in full display, but it's getting there. And Panty kind of pushes that narrative forward in a sense, kind of giving him the confidence to know that he did make a great decision with his life and his career and stuff, and his family and the people around him are proud. So I love that. Boats, yeah, I think that also sums up some of the key messages of this album as well, like having the patience to kind of reach where you want to be at physically and mentally. And yeah, that was a great portrait of that as well. Obviously spoken about Thorns as well. Jacob Banks was great. His hook, he was like, despair won't pay the bills. And it's like, that was so poignant because it's like, yeah, cool, you're going through something, but life is lifing. You need to snap yourself out of it. It's almost like you're trying to snap yourself out of these kind of, let's be real, like toxic, especially on males and like men, like these toxic ideals that you just have to get on with it, even if you're struggling physically and mentally, especially mentally. And that was like a nice like callback to that, while he's also like portraying all of these daily struggles for these characters. So that juxtaposition I really loved as well. And then the final track, the title track, again, funky stuff. Really, really liked that as well. Like it just seemed like he was like, having a bit of fun with it. Like I'm pretty sure. Hey, listen, if Kofi Stone, if that song makes it to a undisclosed birthday party in the next month, then I won't be surprised. And,
yeah, man.
So, hey,
I was
man,
thinking
listen,
the same thing.
bro. Like, listen. A certain DJ might have to pull that up on his set, but shout out to him. But yeah, so it was just one of those ones. Like you can really hear that. Close your eyes and hear that, and you can think like, yeah, Don Cornelius will probably like this too. So yeah, no, I like that as well. But overall, man, this is a really nourishing listening, man. Kofi's just a great MC. He's really proven that.
Yeah,
he has yet to miss. He has yet to miss. And yeah, man, 3 for 3. He's 3 for 3, man. He's quietly building a really, really great catalog. And yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see where he kind of takes this next. And I guess it'll also be interesting to see if he carries on this kind of trajectory that he's on, as far as obviously he released last year, he's released this year. Does he take a break? Does he keep it going? I mean, shit, I saw him doing flipping BBC Sport predictions with Chris Sutton just yesterday. So I think he's slowly but surely creeping into that area of like relevance and attention that maybe will be like, okay, maybe he needs to stick around a bit more. But no, the future will have that, will decide that for us. But no, big up Kofi, man. This is a great album. In terms of the UK, it's definitely one of the best of the year. Heavy replay value as well, especially for topics as heavy as they are. I didn't even talk about what's the plan. Incredible song. You guys know that's my bag. But yeah, shout out to that song. Shout out to that song, and shout out to Kofi as well, man.
Yeah, I missed that song out as well, man. Yeah, it's funny when I heard that. I was like, well, that's Yemi, man. When I think about Yemi's aesthetic, that's Yemi's aesthetic right there, man.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, the Crip is gonna get jiggy to this. So the Crip is gonna hit. I was like, this is Yemi's bag. But yeah.
Okay.
But you wait, Mo, before you jump in here, do you man see like a link between like the titles of the songs?
Can you let me land? Because I'm gonna go somewhere with this.
Sorry, go.
Cool. So
sorry, man, my apologies.
So I wrote this down. Brother. I wrote this down, yeah. I personally wrote this down. This is the man that gave you the Kendrick analogy. The one that said my city. And wallahi, you guys are gonna think I'm kidding when I say this. I've been thinking about, because I'm gonna talk about his album, but you guys talk the crux of it, but I am gonna get into it. But I want to talk about, you get me, the totality of what's going on here with my brother Kofi Stone. So I've been thinking, what is the connect between all 3 albums? So I listened to all 3 albums again, and I was like, there has to be some sort of connect. So this is what I've said. Are you ready for this year? Because I wrote this down. So you know the first album, Nobody Cares Till Everybody Does. I've wrote, that's Kofi finding himself. Then his second album, A Man After God's Own Heart, I've got, that's him fighting himself. And then for this album, All the Flowers Have Bloomed, I've generally wrote, that's Kofi understanding himself. No, Yemi, give that to me. Don't even make that like, bro.
I
Like,
hear it.
No,
No, I hear it. I hear it.
I'm not smiling on a like, thing. I was like, yeah, it actually makes sense. Like,
like to
you're,
me, because so the main, because I rarely do this, but when the album dropped, I was like, he does a thing where the titles are very specific, the cover's very specific, and also the song choice is very specific. Like the word, what the song's called. He doesn't go for your very everyday kind of title. Like, you know how normally people do, what's the word that we repeat 5 times? That's the word we repeat 5 times, made at the title track. He doesn't do that. So I was like, what's the connection? So the way I've looked at it is, he's given us a new path of himself every time. The first time was, and when I went back to it, I was like, yeah, this is him finding himself. That was more, I wouldn't say he kept it more, not hip hop, but like it wasn't just more as experimental as with the jazz now, with the everything that he does now. I don't think he was doing that in 2019 as much as he's doing it now, where now the trust is in himself. And then even the previous one to that, to me, that was just him fighting himself. And this album is just him understanding everything. Like, that's the main crux of what I got. I think he's just now understanding where he belongs, understanding what he's been through, understanding trials and tribulations that he's seen in his life.
Blessings.
But blessings. So I just want people to know that's Monk Barksdale that said, finding himself, fighting himself, understanding himself. Todd DeMarco for me. Now, the album. The album itself, I fuck with the album, man. Like, with me, I thoroughly enjoy Journeys. But there was this was a tough listen. There was times where I was like, this is a lot. Like, I know the first time I sat through Thorns, I think I had to pause, because I was just like, it's a lot going on. Because I think there was a period where he potentially spoke about suicide and just the vulnerability in that. I could be wrong, but I just felt like there was a bar where he spoke about it. And I was like, this is very much, you're laying everything on the table, and you're letting me know why you're laying everything on the table. So I feel he does it in a smart way, but there was times where you listen to his lyrics, you're like, this is not a tough listen, because it's still jiggy. It's still bops. It's still, you don't need to sit down. He does it in a smart way, where there's a phrasing where it's like, if you want people to learn something, like wrap something around, Pete will most probably know what it is. I forgot what the saying is, but it's like, you know the saying where it's like, if you want people to learn, you're gonna have to put something into something. I forgot what it was, but like, let's just say I want you to eat healthy, and I'll put fruit in your chocolate. It's just a smart way of you getting to eat healthy without really making you eat healthy. But it's mind games, isn't it? And I feel like that's what he done. He laid off a lot of heavy topics just in a very smart way. But I was like you, when I first heard Seeds, I was like, yeah, I like this. I like where it's headed towards, because I thoroughly fucked with it. When it got to Rainfall, I was like, no pun intended, this is where the weather's turning. Like, this is where there's a bit of turn coming here. Where are we going with this? I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, genuinely, I was like, this is a bit of a change here. And then but I fucked with it. Honestly, to me, lyrically, it was heavy. The beat felt heavier, but it was cold to me. Venice was the shift for me a little bit anyway. I just felt like it was a little bit lighter for maybe 1 or 2 songs once that song came through. So Venice, I thoroughly enjoyed. I can't lie. Maverick Sabre, that's Pete's bag. I feel like. But it worked. Like, I can't fault it. I'm picking out straws if I say anything about Maverick Sabre. That was the first time, I think, in the album where it was just like, I don't want to say there's something to live for, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. That's what I felt like this song gave me. Not in terms of the album. The album was cold regardless. His perspective, I feel like that was him saying that I went through everything I went through, but that was the song where it was just like, all right, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And he was telling us in real time on the song of like, I'm going to make it to the other side after telling us everything that he's been through. Personally, that's what I just felt like. Is it AD Suleiman?
I believe so.
Thank you very much, because I knew you were no in it. That was cool. That was a nice song as well. That again felt like a kind of an emotional reset to me to a certain degree. It just he done a nice. Do you know what I like the most about this Kofi album? He done a nice, and I don't know if I'm using the word in the right context, but it was a nice. He cleansed the palette quite a lot. Where if it's heavy, he'll give you 2 songs where it'll bring the mood back a little bit down, rather than keeping it consistently Mother Eye Sober for 9-10 songs. Like, he didn't Mother Eye Sober the settings for like 9-10 songs. He just kind of I don't know why Yemi's smiling. I'll be for real. He didn't. It was a very like he cleansed my palate well, so I didn't have to really. It didn't take me to a dark place consistently, whilst he was still rapping about the same topics though. But he knew what productions to pick. He knew what beats to pick. He just didn't keep it dark throughout the same like level throughout the whole album. I'm like you, man. I fucked with Cactus. I
Shout out
fucked
to
with What's the
Dave.
Plan as well. Actually, that's a perfect example because I feel like that's where, you know what? Let's speak about that because I feel like that was the disconnect between this and the Dave album to me. Because Dave didn't do what I literally just mentioned that Kofi done. Kofi done a thing where he knows how to reset it. He knows how to give you a palette reset or just, he knows how to, he's very good at getting the message across and he'll give you a heavier song with maybe the production. What's Pete, where you trying to go, Pete? Because you're shaking your
Brother,
head.
why are we comparing? Don't even bring Dave's album into this, bro. Two completely different artists and two completely
Okay.
different journeys in two
Okay.
completely different places. I don't think it's fair. Don't let Yemi
That's
egg
fair.
you on, you know. Don't let Yemi egg you on, bro.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you
knew,
understood what I was saying.
Yemi knew
all right?
what he was doing. Yemi knew what he was
Yeah,
doing.
he definitely knew what he was doing.
Look
And
at
me
the
personally,
villain.
sometimes, look, it's the blue. It's the blue.
Looking like Tukey Williams, fam.
Who?
Tukey Williams.
That guy, one of the co-founders of the Crips, fam.
One of the co-founders of the Crips.
I feel like
You
this
went dope.
jacket immediately like cancels me out. But no, I mean, listen, I wasn't even trying to.
I feel like
I was-
Hoover's, actually, technically, you know why your Hoovers wear that color. So you're kind of low-key crip.
Don't do that. Don't do that. This is like, I don't even know what this color is, but it looks orange on
That's
screen,
what
but it's
Hoovers
not.
wear.
I do. Hoovers were orange.
Damn.
What was you going to say though, Yemi?
Because Seabod did it, and I feel like Kofi's done it too.
And I feel like that's what
I personally can't say the same for Dave.
And I feel like that's what Kofi done. And I feel like that's what Kofi done to a very good degree. And to me, it's all about balance and it's all about mood levels, innit? Like, you know, when you've got a heavy album, how to change moods. Because sometimes if it's too like that, then your mind's just going to be there throughout the whole album. And I feel like Kofi knows how to control a mood change. And I feel like that's rare when it comes to albums, especially to change someone's mood throughout the whole album. I think is one of the greatest things you could do. But the whole album to me was just a character arc. Like, it just let me know kind of what he's been through, where he's at now. And to me, Fawns is such a great written song, you man, to me, man. It's such a well written song. Like this Yemi's gonna feel like I'm trying to be too smart here. But the gravitas of what he's speaking about, like the gravitas, like the heaviness of what he's trying to, you know, Pete, I have to do this one episode, at least once an episode. I'm gonna start throwing out words out there that you might ain't ready for. But
Why did you say my name?
Gravitas.
You know why? Yo, Pete, what did I say last time? And I said Yemi's name before I said the word.
I can't even remember, man.
But like every time, I remember once I think I said on the other hand, and then Yemi goes on the other hand.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Bro, Peter did it just now and he did it last week. What are we doing here? Why are you saying my
You
name?
know how cheeky he used to say on the other hand, like I said a mad word. But honestly, with Fawns,
This is racism, man.
Fawns to me is such a heavy. Like, I can't listen to Fawns a lot, you man. I just can't. Like, it's just not a song I could go back to a lot in it. But the reason why I keep mentioning it is because I just felt like what he was speaking about on that, and the sincerity and the transparency he came with in that song. Nothing more than I just want to give him his flowers for it, honestly, because the transparency he gave me in Fawns, he didn't have to. But overall with the album, bro, Kofi's special, man. And I feel like as the UK as a whole, it's not a surprising factor when we make good albums. We've just got to embrace it. We've clocked how to do it. We're doing it on a consistent level. And there's too many of us doing it. Like, it's just, we know how to make albums. These artists that come out the UK now, it's not how it was 07, 08, 2010, 11, 12, 13. Having a good album in the UK is not rare anymore. It's not, we should always celebrate it. Don't get me wrong, we should always celebrate it. But their IQ now is different. We have to give them their flowers. I feel like the UK we've got it, the formula now. There's no more excuses of like, we don't know how to put an album together. We don't know how to sonically make it work. We don't know how to, nah, man, nah. And with Kofi, I don't want to say he's 3 for 3, but might be 3 for 3, man. Like,
No,
the
he is 3
growth
for
in
3.
each album.
He is.
Yeah,
3
the
for
growth.
3.
Like, I went back and went to go listen to his first and second album. Obviously, we've spoke to Kofi before, so I've listened to his albums before. It's not the first time. But when I see the growth on it, and I can see that the first album, it was just, I don't want to say it was just basic. Like, it was just not basic, but like, it was just more, you weren't testing yourself out as much as you are now. you said it yourself. You thought he was singing in one of the songs. The emotional side of it. He's testing himself way more now than he did when his first album dropped. And bro, you've got to give someone his flowers. I just think it's a cold album. That's a very heavy album as well. And I don't want to bring up Dave again, but it's a nuanced and a very tricky thing to do. It's not hard to spill out your emotions and also make it an enjoyable listen. I feel like that's what he did.
I think for me, like I always thought it would take a lot for him to make an album better than A Man After God's Own Heart. For me, that's magnum opus right there, isn't it? But this album though,
see, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, man.
I'm not there yet. I'm still.
It's very good, man. This album's very good.
I want to be it because I mess with Kofi heavy. I don't think I'm there yet. I'll be real. I just don't think I'm there yet. A Man After God's Own Heart to me is, bro, that's one of the ones we're going to be talking about 10, 15 years from now when we talk about UK albums, isn't it? And also I just want to give it time. I've only listened to it, 4 or 5 times. I really want to, do you know what I mean?
But can we also appreciate how the roles have reversed? Usually it's me and Mo talking about this is a classic, this is magnum opus, and we're like being like, not just yet. This brother Peter now is on this whole, right now.
I said,
he's ready to jump out the window here.
No, wait, hold on. I said this is his magnum opus. That's what I said. There's nothing wrong with me saying that. I think based on the albums that I've heard from him, that's my stance. That was his magnum opus. And I said, this album is very good. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's better than After Man, God's Own Heart, but this album's very good, man. I'm not there yet, but this album's very good, man. So we'll see. Ask me in like 6 months.
It's up there. I think for me, it's hard because they're both like really replayable. So it's like, yeah, it's like trying to pick your favorite kid, isn't it? Like out of 4, like it's mad. But no, man, it's great. It is great, and ultimately he's just leveling up every time, and that's what you want from your artist. And again, to what Peter said earlier, like you don't necessarily have to like do completely different topics, completely different perspective necessarily, but as long as you stay at a level and you're perfecting that level, then you can only get better, really. Yeah, man, I really appreciate that about him as well. What's some of your favorite tracks, boys?
I've got it here.
Seeds, Rainfall, give me Chamomile, give me Marigold, and Cactus, Flowers.
I was going to say Cactus.
Water. Shit, might as well say the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Swear jar.
My bad. You're right.
Yeah. I've got Seeds, Rainfall, Water, What's the Plan, and Cactus for now. The only reason why I'm not saying Moist because I just don't want to name the whole album and go crazy with it. So those are the ones I want to stick with. What's the Plan is fire. Yemi?
Yeah, man. What's the Plan? Of course. Water, Hours Flow, Seeds, and All the Flowers Have Bloomed. Honorable mention to Cactus as well. Cactus is groovy. Like even just listening to it again before we started, I was like, do I want to move this into my top 5? But nah, my top 5 has been cemented for a while. But it's right there. It's like 5. If like All the Flowers Have Bloomed is 5A, then Cactus is 5B. So, yeah, man. And your star ratings, boys. I'm gonna just go out there and say it's 4 stars for me. It's a great album.
4 stars for me as well.
I want to continue being that guy that's very harsh. I'm enjoying this role. So I'm going to give it... It's no problem now. You have to stay consistent with these ratings.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Like, there's being harsh and there's being constructive and there's also being stupid.
Fair. Yeah.
Or I think anything...
No.
If you're gonna say like a 3, then that's where like you're bugging.
That's impossible. Do you know what it is? Just to be different, I was going to say 3.8, but that's just to be like, hey...
Moving that pitchfork, man.
3.8.
Yeah, like just to be, hey, look, guys, we're different here.
I mean, if you want.
But honestly, I'm going to give it a 3.8. I'm going to give it a 3.8.
Okay.
But, yeah.
If you were to put a word next to that, what would that be? Would it be like average, above average, good?
What, next to the album?
Yeah, because 4 for me is very good.
Same.
So what's the 3.8 for you? I think that's very good as well.
It's not.
Um,
It's just.
I'd
It's
say
like good.
It's
It's like
above good.
whatever's between good and very good.
maybe quite good.
That's what it is basically.
Quite good. Maybe.
But it's closer to very good than it is to quite good. But it's closer to very good than it is to good. Do we agree?
Yeah, but quite good. Quite good sounds like you're not sure if it's good.
No, but it's closer to very good than it is to anything else.
So then just give it a very good.
That's what I'm doing.
3.8 isn't very good.
I think it is, personally. Out of 5. I think
I
3.8
guess
out of
it's
5 is very
subjective,
good.
right? It's subjective.
Yeah, I think. Because
We can round it
4.5
up.
to 5 is.
Yo,
we can
Mo
round
is
it up.
Mo is Mo
can
is
round it up.
moving militant on these ratings. You know, he's not really trying to like.
You know why, though? You know why?
Go on.
Think about the ratings we've given out already, yeah? Think
What did we
about the
give him?
ratings
What
we've
did what
given
did you
out
give
already.
Nuts' album?
3.5.
What did you give Sibo's album?
4.
4, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. I gave Seaball 4, Nuts 3.5, and this one 3.8.
Fair enough.
Because you know why as well? It's going to get to a point where I'm telling you, man, you put yourselves in a pickle. I'm telling you, man,
not really,
you
man.
put yourself in a pickle. You put yourself in a pickle.
I don't think so,
All right.
man.
All right.
I'll
Remember
call it
I
as
said
I,
this.
No.
I'll call it as I
Nah,
see
bro.
it, man.
I saw Benzino's give himself a 5 mic. I'm telling you, man, you put yourselves in a pickle.
That's Benzino. We ain't making albums.
And also, we're not rating Benzino. We're rating like very credible rappers and MCs. Just saying.
I didn't think that far ahead.
Like, we're not reviewing a riff
No,
rap
but
album.
honestly, like, but true. No, but honestly, this album is. When did we get so good, man? Like,
England.
when did this? No, but I know that. But when did this, like, bro? You need to understand. We've done 3 album reviews in the last 2 weeks, and they've been dope. Like, it's just, when did we become this? Like, when did we become Hayland Academy of albums? Like, it's just, maybe I'm overthinking it, but we've lived it in real time of the
Bro,
growth.
bro, like we were getting Boy in a Corner in like fucking.
But it weren't this regular.
What was it?
Yeah, but it wasn't this regular.
That's not the point. You're talking about
It is the
album.
point.
No, it isn't. You're talking about album making, right? You're talking about quality albums. When have we
On a consistent level.
hold on? When have we produced quality albums?
Boy in a Corner?
Quality albums have been there. Is my point.
I don't disagree. I don't think, I'm talking about as consistent. I'm talking about now it's regular.
But consistency, but the quantity. If you're measuring the quantity of it along with like the quality, yeah.
The
That's-
quality,
But that's to do with what's happening in the scene at the time.
yeah, and that's all I'm propping. I'm just like, because we've lived it in real time where now the quality and the quantity is matching up. Before the quality and the quantity, there was a bit of a gap. The quantity was there, but I don't know if the album quality was there. Now it's starting to become a mirror match. And we've lived that transition.
This is probably a topic.
Yeah, because we've lived that transition in real life. But yeah, that's definitely a topic, I think.
But big ups Kofi. Listen, another great album, and yeah, man, he's getting better, and we love to see it. So that's
Scary.
about that.
Scary.
Word.
Only better Kofi is Kingston.
We'll have to fact check that, but I'll let you have it. Why not?
I don't believe that, man. I don't believe that.
All right, man. All right. Well, sticking to the UK, we wanted to talk very briefly about an event, I suppose, or like a happening in the scene that riled a lot of feathers. So, earlier in the month, UK rapper ENNY, who burst onto the scene in 2020 with her song "Peng Black Girls," which was then remixed with Georgia Smith, accomplished MC in her own right. She's collaborated with, obviously, Georgia Smith. She's collaborated with Lil Kana, Mick Jenkins, to name a few. She caused a bit of a stir earlier in the month when she posted a video to her Instagram announcing that she was quitting music to launch her own cleaning business. The cleaning business in question was called Peng Black Girls Cleaning Services after her breakout song. And yeah, the scene very much reacted in the way that they would. Very, very sad to hear that ENNY had was quitting the game, or had lost her passion for the game, as she basically shared in her video. And the general feeling was that the game had lost a real one. Someone who was very purposeful with her raps, very purposeful with her music. You could very much foul her in the same kind of camps as a Kofi Stone, in terms of like her output and what she talks about and what she raps about, the general feel of it. So yeah, the game was very much mourning her kind of quitting the game and moving on to greener pastures. She created a Instagram page for the Paying Black Girls cleaning service. And she was releasing like videos and visuals, basically talking about the venture, the new venture. And then a little later, turned out that it was all a ruse, and the retirement, quote unquote, was part of the rollout for her latest single, Selfridges. And all of the videos and the visuals pertaining to her cleaning service was all in promotion for that song. And yeah, it divided the scene. It was very much a case of people thinking, you know, this was really great, / I'm glad this is not true because, you know, we're really happy to have you back in the game or to have you still in the game. And then others were like, this was dead. This was corny. You didn't need to do this. Why on earth would you do something like that? So I guess what we want to do today is kind of just break down this whole saga, how we feel about it. Was it the right move? Is this the type of moves that artists now need to resort to in order to like breathe life into their music, into their career? Peter, you seem to have a very strong opinion of this. What did you think of the whole rollout? Because there was a lot of chirping in the group chat.
I thought it was corny. I didn't really understand why anybody would do that. Why would you punk fake like that? I just couldn't understand like why you would do that. Like, especially as, you know, as consumers, we all took it quite seriously. I couldn't wrap my brain around why you would pretend to retire to then not retire all for a rollout. Like I just thought it was corny, man. And I think it just calls into question like a lot of credibility as far as like what these artists say and do. I think fundamentally, I don't think it's going to have a negative impact on, you know, people listening to her music and stuff. But I think it just calls into question like how seriously we take artists and what they say and what they do. I think her doing things like that is probably part of some ecosystem where there are artists that do and say certain things just as part of a rollout or just for some sort of attention, man. And I just think the whole thing is corny, man. I just did not agree with it. And I just didn't really understand it. That was my stance. That's still my stance, man. I take my artists very seriously. You know, I take the art very seriously. I can appreciate that, you know, you may be trying to be creative in rolling something out. I can hold that, but I can also hold at the same time me as a consumer not feeling like you need to do that. Like, just roll it out. That's how I need to pretend to fall back for us to listen to your song or as part of some wider, bigger picture that you think you need to present to us. Like the whole thing was just corny to me.
I hear it. Mo?
I agree. I just think it's very corny, the whole retired and then to come back 7 days later. But in her defense, is this just a 2025 version of what rappers used to do back in the day when they go, I'm retiring, and then they won't retire?
No. It's
Why is it
not.
different?
It's not. Bro, how many
I'm just
rappers
asking, why?
how many rappers did we hear say I'm retiring and didn't retire?
Mace.
Mace retired.
And then he come back,
And
so
then
he didn't retire.
He came back years later. There's nothing wrong with making the decision to step away from music for X amount of time and actually following and following through with that, and then feeling like, you know what, now I'm ready to re-enter. I don't have an issue with that. The issue I have is if you say I'm going to retire today, and then you drop, and it's part of some sort of big rollout for you to drop something in like a month or so. I just think that's corny as hell.
No, so this was the point I was getting at. I agree with you because of the time length. I think when you do it, it's premeditated when you do it in 7 days, and it's like, yo, whatever. I think that's corny, innit? Maybe Mace ain't the best example, but I've seen you rappers use I'm retiring as she ain't the first person to do this I'm retiring gimmick, is all I'm saying. She ain't the first, she ain't gonna be the last, in my opinion. She's done it in the new format of TikTok and Insta because that's the world we live in today. But we've lived in a time where rappers have gone, yo, this is my last album, after this I'm out of here. And then they come back with Kingdom Come. So we've seen it. We've seen people do this, is what I'm saying, essentially. Obviously, I agree with you, Pete, because there's years. If I say I'm retiring, I'll come back in 5 years' time. Clearly, I'm meant at a time, whereas hers is 7 days. But I'm more so talking about I think in her mind, she's not doing anything different to what rappers previously have done. But all around, I agree with you. I don't rate it. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of garnishing attention. Garnishing, that's a big word, Yemi. Attention this way. I just think it's corny. I think it's cheap. I think it's easy.
Garnering.
What did I say? Garnishing. Oh, I said garnishing.
You were cooking too.
Oh, I said.
I didn't want to.
I wasn't gonna correct. I wasn't gonna correct
Bro.
you. I wasn't gonna correct you. I was gonna let you have it.
Oh,
But then he called. But then he called me out.
I was cooking, Pete. I wasn't even cooking, bro. Wallahi, bro. I was mixing.
You were garnishing,
bro.
You were garnishing.
You were microwaving. You were microwaving, bro.
Pete. This is why I get in trouble, man. You know, wallahi. You know, it was a heat check. That one just happened right now was a heat check in real time.
Hey, man.
Sorry, man.
It's all good.
And I went wrong. But anyway, I say that to say, yeah, like Shayna, I just don't like it. I think it's a very, very easy formula, innit, is what I'm saying. I think it's a cop out. It's not a cop out, but it is a cop out. It's a very easy formula to say, because you know what's going to happen. You know the backlog, you know what you're going to get after. You know the ramifications of, you know the noise that it's going to happen. Like, we just know what's going to happen. So, do I rate it? No. I just, giving her the benefit of the doubt, I just genuinely, in my mind, I just think what she's doing is just a 2025 version of what people previously have done. Whether we agree with what they've done previously and whether they disappeared for years, I don't think she's the first or the last person that's going to do it. I just don't agree with it personally, innit? Yeah?
Listen, I am not ashamed to say that I believed her. I believed what she was saying because it felt sincere.
We all believed her, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there'll be some people that will say, no, you could tell all along. Like, and even when we did like posting for it, one of our followers was like, well, why is she doing the video in the studio? Sort of thing. And that's when I first was like, you know what? Yeah, you're actually right. Because why would that happen, sort of thing? Do I have like strong emotions or strong opinions about this? I guess not. Like, it is, I mean, listen, it's never nice to be bamboozled or fooled, right? But I guess I'm kind of indifferent to it because I feel like if I'm going to like empathize with her a little bit, I don't think she actually realizes A, how big her fan base is, and B, how they would react to such a statement like that. Clearly it was like a misjudgment, right? I feel like when you're in your own bubble as an artist, especially someone like her who is a black woman, and is an MC and, you know, hasn't been in the scene for very long, hasn't released a whole lot, but obviously had a little bit of buzz throughout that. You maybe lose sight about, you know, what and who you're reaching. This was a good example for her and a good lesson for her to really like understand just how people feel about her and what people think about her. The actual like rollout itself, I mean, it definitely did need like a retirement angle. I feel like even without the retirement angle, if you started promoting something called Paying Black Girls Cleaning Services and then you had the trailer, it would have worked just as effectively, if not more, sort of thing. Now, obviously, the retirement angle makes people want to talk about it more, and maybe it probably translated to more streams of Selfridges, which, you know, if that's the case, then mission accomplished. But I don't think it was necessary, and I don't think it was something that she needed to resort to. I feel like she's in circles where she knows that at least culturally speaking, she is of some kind of relevance. So I don't think she would have lost anything by not retiring or full retiring in order to achieve that. But yeah, man, it's just, I guess nowadays, like, artists do sometimes feel like they do need to resort to like these type of measures to garner attention. We're in the attention economy, right? Attention spans are at an all-time low. So how am I going to get people's attention? Okay, let me say something drastic. Let me do something drastic. And then kind of keep it moving. And, you know, the amount of think pieces that I've kind of seen on TikTok about this, you know, pro and con, shows that it was worth it. And I think she's now only realizing how appreciated she is because of this. And obviously I don't want to speak for her, but maybe there were doubts. I don't know. Like, if it was a genuine desire to kind of like drum up interest for the song, then fine. But I can't help but feel like it's something deeper there. And I hope that throughout all this, she's been able to like really realize how much value she holds, so that she doesn't have to do stuff like this again. And, you know, she can kind of keep it moving and keep the attention on the music as opposed to what she's doing. which, you know, obviously you kind of have to play the game as an artist whenever you can or whenever you need to. But I kind of just chalked it down to that, really. So I'm kind of indifferent to it now. I guess now I've had a bit of time to kind of chill with it and like really sit with it and listen to the song. I mean, the song, it was cool, but, you know, I would have expected like...
It wasn't worth the retirement.
I would have, yeah, I guess I would have wanted something grander, something a bit more like, I don't know, something that was worth all this. Not to say it's a bad song. It's just like a typical ENNY song, I'd say. Like if it was something different, then maybe I'd be like, okay, I can see it a bit more. But I just feel like, yeah, it wasn't needed, but I get it, sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, if this is what artists have to do, I mean, I don't know how you man feel, but maybe it's a little sad. I'm not sure.
But they don't. But they don't know. I don't think they do though. Why do we feel like they need to do this? There are so many, like, promotion is not a new concept. Like, garnering attention for your art is not a new concept, particularly in the music industry. So I don't understand why this particular method is one that maybe artists feel like they need to do. I don't think they've ever needed to do that. Even when Jay did it. When Jay did it, he did it. But he retired, right? When Mace did it, he did it. Mace didn't pump fake and say, yo, I'm retiring and then I'm not retiring. These men actually stepped away. I don't know many. I know Game did it. Game's done it a few times. When he did it, I said the same thing. I thought it was corny as well. Said he was retiring and dropped an album the same year. Thought very corny. I just don't think that method, that particular method, has something artists have ever needed to do, man. As part of your press, and even if you just look at press runs in general, man, like if you just look at the way clips have done it as well, like it just makes me pay more attention to the fact that like your press run and your promotion just has to be interesting. To garner that attention, you just have to find an interesting way to pull people in. That's all it is, man. It just means more creativity. That's all you need to do. You don't need to be lazy with it and like, you know, fake a retirement. That's my view anyway.
Sorry to cut in real quickly, Mo. And I guess, yeah, to the point of creativity, I feel like paying black girls cleaning service as a concept is very creative. Independent of...
I think it's dope. I think it's dope, actually.
Independent of, you know, all the retirement stuff, like even the concept, the video and stuff, like that's cool. Like we have artists that do that stuff. Like we saw, you know, obviously fucking now, but Diddy, like all of his concepts for his videos back in the day, like he didn't need to retire to do any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like from Bad Boy for Life, where he's just like he's just in a house party and Benson knocks on the door like, yo, keep the noise down. Like that stuff is creative. You didn't need to retire, sort of thing. So I kind of see it in the same vein, sort of thing. So I agree. I think creativity like kind of wins overall. But to the point of Jay, very, very quickly, obviously Black Album 2003. He then features on The College Dropout the year after. He then features on Late Registration the year after. And then the next year, he's back with Kingdom Come. Was that really a retirement?
Yes.
Royalty.
Yes, it was. It was a retirement because... Sorry. It was a retirement because he said he was retiring from making studio albums. That doesn't speak to features. There have been a few rappers that said, yo, man, after this one, I'm done. Styles P's retiring from making studio albums. Scarface, once upon a time, said he was retiring from making studio albums. But they still appeared on features. I think that's different.
Interesting.
I understand where you're coming from. I just don't know if I agree. I think he definitely pump faked the retirement. I think the game pump faked the retirement. I don't think you need to do it. I just think it's a tale of, what is it? Taylor's of or something?
Taylor's oldest time.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Yemi. That's why I need you sometimes. Yeah, it's a Taylor's oldest time. I don't think it's going to change. I think rappers are going to do this. And I think sometimes we just don't understand their psyche. Like, you don't understand if they do feel like they're just not getting the traction that they want. We don't know any psyche. She just might have felt like, I'm just not getting the response. Do you know what I mean? Like, we will just never understand their mindset.
It probably wasn't even that deep. It probably wasn't even that deep. I reckon it was probably just as simple as, yo, man, I'm going to roll this thing out. I'm going to pretend I'm retiring and see how people react. It's going to bring... I think it was probably as simple as that.
Yeah, like, we won't understand their psyche at all. Yeah. But overall, I'm just not a fan of it. I've come to expect rappers to do it here and there. And I've kind of somewhat accepted it. Someone retired and come back with Kingdom Come, and that stunk. But sorry, I mean, do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we have become, and this is because of the rappers, we've probably become desensitized to this idea of rappers doing these grand gestures. So when it does happen, it's like, okay, cool, it's going to start a conversation. But because we've seen that there's precedence for this, it's not that deep. Like, if we didn't have the Jay example, if we didn't have the Styles example, and then ENNY did this, then maybe it'd be like, wow, like, whoa. But because we have that, it's a bit like, okay, I kind of see what you're trying to do. It's in this context sort of thing. So, I think that just speaks to the idea of like artists kind of pushing that, but pushing those boundaries a bit. And I guess you can then, whatever you want, however you want to describe it, playing with the fans or like, you know, in a good way or a bad way, like it's up to you. But ultimately, it got people talking, and I hope that it was able to then get her to generate more streams for the project. As a matter of fact, let me even check her Spotify streams for this, because that will be very telling. Up again, I mean, it's only been out not very long, but even still, like you'd think, okay, it's on 310,000 streams.
It done its job.
Selfridges.
It done its job. It done its job.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, listen, her most popular song is Pen Black Girls Remix with Georgia Smith. So that was always going to be the most popular one. But yeah, I mean, listen, I hope it did what it was supposed to do for her, man. And I hope that then means that we do get more from her. Like even before then, like we hadn't heard anything from her really since 2023. So hopefully this now gives her the kick that she needs to like push forward with that. But to that point, very, very quickly, because obviously she had in kayfabe, she had this kind of like side hustle now of like doing like having like a cleaning service. So let's just play a bit of a game, a kayfabe game.
Kayfabe.
Like if you think about UK rappers and you think about potential side hustles that they could have, who would you say would have what kind of side hustle would you say like any UK rapper would have? So for example,
side hustle or another job?
Side hustle, another job. Side hustle, another job could be whatever. So for example, I feel like Stormzy would be a youth pastor.
Wallahi, and I'm not even just saying wallahi to this. Stormzy pastor is the one that came to my head, which is why I asked, a side hustle or another job?
Could be either.
Like generally, Stormzy's pastor was the one that I automatically thought of.
I think I think Giggs would be interesting as a documentary voiceover character.
You know what? I hear it.
I think it'd be really interesting.
I'm not mad at that.
I hear that.
I think we've got a few people that could do voiceovers. You know that? I think we've got a few here that could do voiceovers.
I feel like J Hus could be like a translator, but for like the UN, where he has to translate. So let's just say like Keir Starmer takes him. Hang on. Let's just say like Keir Starmer takes him on like a secret envoy to like, I don't know, the Gambia, right? And then he has to, and then he has to translate stuff like Bun Sam, Juju J to like to Keir Starmer so he can understand the locals a bit more. I feel like J Hus would cook with that.
I'm trying to think of one. What do I have?
I think Dave could be like a detective because he's always so like incisive with like what he talks about and how he talks about it. I feel like he'd be a very good detective.
I'm not mad at that. I'm actually not mad at that. I can't lie.
I can see that.
Definitely could be Border Patrol.
What?
Okay.
Devlin could be Border Patrol.
Interesting.
Professor Green could be a professor.
Of what? Okay. Okay, we're giving Professor Green way too much credit there. But first, no, big up him. He's important to someone.
Who else? I reckon. I can't say what I was going to say.
I think Little Sims could be like an art curator or like an art dealer. She'd be good at that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that.
I've actually got a question for you, man, before we wrap up. If hip hop had a logo, do you know how NBA's got Jerry West? Who would be hip hop's logo? My vote
Cool Mo
would
D
be,
with a microphone.
I'd say Rakim Allah.
Cool Mo D.
Okay. Cool Mo D. Okay. If it has to be a person, then it could be either Melly Mel, Rakim, maybe Nas. But for now, I'd probably say LL Cool J.
There's a few in it that qualify.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, there's
Yo,
a few.
Yo, P.
Yo.
I'm not going to lie to you, brother. If I started a sport and I saw Melly Mel as the logo, I'm not going to do that gym, bro.
You literally, bro, what are we doing here? You said Cool Mo D.
Bro, no, don't shit on Melly Mel, man.
Yo, like
Don't shit on Melly Mel, bro.
you know one thing I love about this podcast,
The
yeah?
message is
the message.
the message, bro.
Come. You know what you sound like? When my uncle was telling me about the bridge is over.
Nah, the message was
The Bridge is Over's dope. What are we doing here? The Bridge is Over's dope.
The message was
It
it back
is,
in the
I
day,
don't
man.
even
I'm
know why I
telling
done
you,
that.
bro. The message, his storytelling was, he was spitting on the message.
Shall I be honest with you though? I think all jokes aside, for the logo, and this is gonna sound like a mad, actually might not be a hot take. I think one of the
It has
biggest
to be
people
Rakim. It has to be Rakim.
I think it could be, and all jokes aside, I'm not saying he's the greatest ever. I don't think he is the greatest rap ever. I just think he low key. I think Tupac's got a big shout. I think Tupac's got a massive for everything, bro. I think Tupac's got a massive shout in this, bro. Massive.
I think you would need someone that's so fundamentally influential to like how people rhyme. I think Rakim, even the Cool Mo.
Or what about people wanting to rhyme? Because no one plays like Jerry West.
So why
Yeah,
was
I mean,
Jerry
no
West?
one-
Why was Jerry West the logo?
Why? Because he's a white man.
No, let's not do that. Jerry
No,
West
no,
is...
seriously. Why did they select him to be
It's
the
a
logo?
lot to it. He went to I think he went to at least 10 NBA finals or 8 NBA finals. I don't know the law behind it, but I think he was that guy amongst them guys.
Was he before Bill Russell?
No, he was a contemporary. So Jerry West, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, they're all contemporaries. Jerry West, he went to like loads of finals. He's the only finals MVP on the losing team. Lost loads. And then Wilt joined, and Pat Riley and them, man. Then they won a couple chips before he retired. He was the premier shooting guard of his era. He's probably top 4 shooting guards of all time after D-Wade, Kobe, and Jordan.
I don't know, brother.
He's a point guard, sir.
You said shooting guard just now.
Yeah, I know, but AI is a point guard.
No, AI's a shooting guard. Sorry. We'll talk about that after though.
He played
Really?
point most of his
He
career,
didn't. No, he actually played shooting. I'm not even. You could Google this.
but he's a point guard.
He's not though.
But
He
he
actually
is
played
though.
two guard. No, for Philadelphia, he played two guard.
No,
Are
he
you
played two guard a couple seasons, but he's a
No, he
natural.
played two guard for the majority
guard.
of his career with Philadelphia.
All right, we'll fact
Anyway,
check
but
that.
continue. Sorry. But
Yeah,
let's- anyway,
I just think it has to be Rakim, bro.
I think Puck. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
I think Rakim. I think Rakim inspired Pac.
Who inspired more people?
Well, Rakim or Tupac? Probably Tupac.
I agree.
Probably Tupac.
I think.
Be-
I think.
I
that's-
think P.
I think
logo.
that's difficult, man. Because I think even though Rakim wasn't our era, I think because of what he ushered in, as far as like rhyme styles, I think a lot of men are able to have a career because of
But
I
then,
agree with you. P.
all over the world. And I think
Then-
that's difficult to go up against. I really think so. Because now we're talking about the fundamentals of putting like pen to paper. I think that's really difficult to go up against. And you know how I feel about Pat.
no, I hear that. Just in terms of like the fundamentals and the art of rhyming. And I guess that versus Pac's influence, if we think about people like DMX, etc., that feel Ja Rule, those people,
Oh, Kendrick. All the way
Kendrick,
to now.
yeah, all these man. Right, which one do you weigh the
P,
most?
bruv, P's first favorite rapper was Puck. Even us. My first favorite rapper was Puck.
What does that
I
mean?
think Puck is.
We're
as
not
in the
talking
lo-
about,
I'm just saying the-
we're not talking about my favorite.
No.
right now,
I'm
bro.
just saying.
Like,
I'm just saying for the logo. I'm not saying. I don't think he's the best. I'm just saying for the logo. I think it's hard to come past a lot of people that's more. I think Puck might be the single most influential rapper we've ever had.
if I'm picking my personal favorite for the logo, I'm probably picking Nasir Jones.
No, but I'm not saying he's my favorite. I'm saying I
No,
think
but,
Puck might be the
if we're
single
talking about
most.
who I
Yeah,
would,
yeah,
I
that's what I'm
don't.
saying.
But I'm just thinking more objectively. Like, I think it has to be Rakim. I think Yemi mentioned some names that could. I think it has to be someone from that era. I think Yemi mentioned some names that would only ever also be in contention for that. As influential as Pac is, I don't know, man. Because would you say Jay's more influential? Would you say Jay's more influential than?
I think Puck is arguably the single most influential rapper we've ever had. But I genuinely believe in my heart he might be the most influential. No, I believe it. I think Tupac is the most influential rapper we've ever had.
Is Nas more influential than Jay?
No. But I think Puck's the
Okay,
most
but
influential.
then Nas influenced Pac, Big, and Jay.
Well, this is where we get into the weeds of it, because you can be influenced by an influencer, right? But your influence vis-a-vis that influencer versus other people that you've influenced might be greater. You know what I'm saying? So Jay may have been influenced by Nas, but Jay's influence over other rappers probably supersedes how Nas influenced him.
Oh no, I need to think about it. I got the topic from a journalist called Doggy Diamonds in America.
Keep that in the top, though.
Yeah.
Keep that in the top for sure.
Nice. Well, final words on ENNY?
Salute to you, man. Salute to you, Queen.
Yeah, man. Listen, you didn't need to do it, man. We love your music. We're here for you. We're here for the music, man. We're always gonna be here for the music.
Yeah. Listen, hopefully, I hope it was successful for her, and I hope she realizes now that playing with your fans, you play with your fans at your peril, basically, because it might not always be what you think it's gonna be. So, yeah, that's all. Just be mindful. That's all. But shout out to ENNY, man. Listen, she's needed in this scene, man, especially as it continues to grow. So shout out to her. But yeah, that will do it for another episode of Rhymes Like Dimes. Thank you for listening and watching. Thank you for staying with us in this new, well, we've been online before, but it's been a while, so it's good to be back in some capacity. Boys, any shout outs before we take the people out?
Yeah, man. Onslaught, man. Please, I beg you, fix it, man. Just fix it. Just fix it, bro. That's it, man. Might
as well call Bob the Builder, bro.
Just fix it.
I just want to say shout out to Arnie Slot. Shout out to the Roller 60s due to Yemi.
I thought it was Hoover.
You're both. They're both Crips. You cross-identified today. What, Hoover and no, you can't be Hoover.
So wait, I'm Schoolboy Q and Nipsey Hussle.
Basically, is what you're wearing today. I can't lie. So you picked that outfit. We got a Black Panther here. We got a Crip here. We got a Somali. We're here. But yeah, I want to say shout out to Arnie Slot for everything that Peter just said. And shout out to the league winners, bro. We're recording this in November the 29th. I'll see you all at the parade.
You're not seeing me at the parade, sir.
Hey, bro, that parade. Yeah, but you low key on a G thing. I don't think you man want to miss this. This is
wow.
London's going to be different. Yeah, I'm telling you. You don't want to miss this. Bare neutrals are going to pop up. Bare neutrals are popping up. There's someone I work with that supports Liverpool that's pulling up.
Yeah, they're going for vibes, but
yeah,
the vibes are at my expense. So no.
Charge it to the but
yo, we're so out of the race. It ain't at our expense anymore, man.
No, the reason why you're right. You're right.
You know what it's about to be like, man.
But still,
yo, Mo. If we don't finish top 10, I'm coming to the parade, man, because it ain't at my expense.
Bro, just gonna ask one quick. Actually, I'll ask when we finish recording. I've got a question to ask about you, man. The season.
Oh boy. Well, listen. Shout out to everybody. Yeah. Outside of that, yeah, man. Shout out to all the flipping people that make the world go round, man. Flipping people that work at restaurants. Farmers are very important.
I'm gonna learn to farm.
Shout out to all you, man.
Who's the person behind the scenes that controls everything, Yemi? Seeing as you're talking about the people behind the scenes.
What do you mean?
Never mind.
Bilderberg Group. People that are in it.
Cool. Thank you once again.
Yo, Mo, why? You asked a question. I'm answering your question.
Yemi, stay blessed.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. Like, you guys are allergic to beginning and starting and ending an episode. But now listen. Shout out to everybody. Listen, you know where to find us. We're at Rhymes Dimes Pod on Twitter or X, Instagram, and TikTok. Yeah, follow us on YouTube. Hit that bell so you're notified whenever we drop new content. Yeah, if you're listening on Spotify or the other DSPs, leave us a 5-star rating. That will really help us grow. And yeah, you'll hear from us very, very soon. So until then, take care, stay safe, stay blessed.
Stay black.
Peace.
The family moved from Walthamstow to Bramtown. Parties till the sun down. Trying to sneak